Let's get this straight. Nike thought they were running the show. They thought they were scripting another promising rookie endorsement arc, a slow build, some glossy commercials, and maybe a breakout shoe in 2 years if the kid proved himself on the field. What they didn't see coming was the avalanche. The SS Crown logo didn't just launch, it detonated. It didn't roll out like a campaign, it stampeded like a cultural takeover. Within hours of that drop, Nike's entire infrastructure looked like it had been hacked.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
Websites frozen, servers down, supply chains bent out of shape like someone had thrown a wrench into the machine. And for what? A rookie quarterback who hadn't even played a full NFL season yet. A kid with a name, sure, but not just a name. A story, a swagger, an authenticity that you can't design in a marketing lab. The crazy part? Nike didn't even need to advertise it. This wasn't banner ads and TV spots. This was TikTok kids doing unboxings in their bedrooms, racking up millions of views before Nike's own commercials even aired. This was Instagram influencers pairing SS Crown hoodies with Dior sneakers and tagging Shedeur like he was a lifestyle brand, not a quarterback. This was YouTubers dropping haul videos of jerseys and hats that had sold out faster than a Supreme box logo tee. And that logo, the crown, it's deceptively simple. 2 S's interlocked, rising up into a crown. But it's not just graphic design. It's symbolism. It says, I'm royalty, I'm here to take what's mine, and I'll do it my way. You can't wear it without making a statement, and that's why it's spread like wildfire. Here's where Nike's jaw dropped, the demographics. This wasn't just diehard Browns fans, poor souls, buying jerseys. This was everyone. Generation Z girls buying cropped SS Crown hoodies because they loved the aesthetic. Fashion kids in Paris rocking the gear because it felt underground, almost rebellious. Streetwear diehards in Tokyo flipping limited edition cleats on resale markets for triple retail. And moms, yes moms, buying SS Crown joggers because they liked the message of ambition and pride. In the first 72 hours, Shedeur Sanders did what most rookies dream about doing over their entire careers. He became a global phenomenon. Nike, of course, was caught flat-footed. Their projections were modest, safe. Strong early sales, they predicted. Not our warehouse workers are calling in backup at 2 a.m. because they can't box these hoodies fast enough. Not our servers just buckled under the weight of teenage fandom. This wasn't supposed to be Michael Jordan level yet. It wasn't supposed to be LeBron in 2003 hype. And yet here it was, maybe even bigger. Meanwhile, Adidas and Under Armour are watching like kids outside a candy store with no money. Adidas, still licking wounds from the Kanye fallout, is reportedly scrambling behind closed doors. Someone in their marketing department literally asked, "How did we miss this?" Under Armour, whose star once was Steph Curry, is now realizing their playbook of signing safe athletes won't cut it anymore. Puma, Reebok, even New Balance, they're all reevaluating strategies because Shedeur's explosion proved one thing. Authenticity beats polish every single time. The storylines write themselves. On the field, Shedeur is calm, precise, mature beyond his years. Off the field, he's charismatic, unfiltered, magnetic. He's not just telling fans to believe in him. He's making them feel like they're part of the journey. That's the difference. That's why his merch didn't just sell. It became a lifestyle. And the Browns? Oh, let's not forget about the Browns. Imagine being in Cleveland right now. Your team has historically butchered quarterback development more times than anyone can count. You finally get a guy who not only plays with poise, but carries cultural cachet. And what happens? He walks. And a week later, his logo is plastered across the globe while your franchise is fielding angry callers on sports radio asking, "Why do we even bother?" Cleveland didn't just lose a quarterback. They lost a brand. Now let's zoom back into Nike HQ, because this is where things really heat up. Their execs are panicking, but in a good way. The kind of panic where you're drowning in cash, but also terrified you might blow it. The original contract? Laughable now. It was structured for potential. Incentives, bonuses if Shedeur hits certain milestones, the usual rookie deal. But what's happening in real time isn't potential, it's dominance. He doesn't need Nike. Nike needs him. So suddenly, negotiations flip. Shedeur's camp, led by Dion, who's been here before, walks into the boardroom with leverage dripping off their shoulders. And Dion doesn't mince words. Gentlemen, we're not here to renegotiate a shoe deal. We're here to talk about empire. Empire. That's the word. Because the SS crown isn't just a product anymore. It's a movement. It's a flag. It's something people are already tattooing on their skin. And you can't put a price tag on that. The numbers on Nike's slides are insane. $250 million projected in 6 months. International expansion doubling ahead of schedule. Resale market proving the logo has cultural cachet beyond retail. So Nike does something they've done only for the rarest of the rare. They slide a billion-dollar figure across the table. A LeBron-style lifetime deal. Equity in future ventures. Control over the SS crown as its own sub-brand, like Jordan. And Shedeur? He doesn't flinch, doesn't grin, doesn't act shocked. He nods calm as ever and says, "That's a good start." That's the moment you know the paradigm has shifted. Athletes used to need Nike. Now Nike needs athletes who can move culture. And Shedeur isn't just moving culture. He's steering it like a quarterback reading a defense. Fans, of course, are eating it up. Every drop feels like an event. Every hoodie feels like a piece of history. Kids are lining up online like it's 2017 Supreme. Instagram is clogged with SS crown fits. TikTok is drowning in unboxing videos where teenagers cry tears of joy over jerseys. The hype isn't manufactured, it's organic. And that's why it feels unstoppable. The league is watching too. Other rookies are whispering to their agents, "Why do I have that kind of deal?" College kids in the nil era are watching, realizing they don't need to wait until the pros to build empires. Even veterans are taking notes. Because Shedeur just proved that the old endorsement model is dead. It's not about polished commercials and scripted ads. It's about authenticity, relatability, and owning your narrative. Let's hand out some fake awards, because this launch deserves its own Hall of Fame ceremony. The Server Slayer award goes to Shedeur Sanders for making Nike's billion-dollar infrastructure crumble like it was running on dial-up. The Cultural Currency medal goes to the SS Crown logo for becoming a global lifestyle identity faster than any rookie athlete symbol in history. And the "Oops, we did it again" trophy goes to Nike for underestimating a 21-year-old quarterback and realizing too late they'd accidentally signed the future of sports marketing. The moral? Simple. We're not just watching a player launch merch. We're watching the birth of a dynasty, one that merges athletics, culture, and business in a way that will ripple across the entire industry for decades. Shedeur Sanders didn't just break rookie sales records. He broke the system, rewrote the rules, and set a new standard. Authenticity or bust. And Nike? They're still catching their breath, wondering how they let this kid flip the script on them. Because here's the truth, this wasn't a logo drop. This was a coronation. The SS crown didn't just land on shelves, it landed on the throne. And now, everyone else, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, even the NFL, is just trying to keep up. All right, let's pick this story up right where we left it. Nike scrambling, Shedeur calm, and the SS crown becoming less of a logo and more of a religion. But if the logo drop was the spark, the Super Bowl was the inferno. Because let's be honest, there's no bigger stage in American culture than the Super Bowl halftime commercial block. And Shedeur Sanders didn't just show up there. He took it over. Picture the scene. Millions tuned in, chips in hand, guac bowls half empty. It's third quarter, momentum swinging, and then the screen fades to black. Everyone in living rooms across America knows what's coming. One of those commercials. And then slowly, we see it, grainy footage of a young Shedeur tossing a football in his backyard. Dion standing off to the side, yelling encouragement. The screen glitches. Cuts to high school highlights. Then college. The voiceover kicks in. They said you had to wait your turn. Boom, cut to Shedeur in Colorado, silencing a packed stadium. They said you had to fit their mold. Cut to Cleveland, playbook slammed, walking out of the facility. They said you weren't ready. Now a clean shot. Shedeur walking into the tunnel of his new NFL home. SS Crown hoodie pulled over his head, the crowd roaring like thunder. And then the screen lights up, massive and clear. Own your crown. The swoosh fades in beside the SS Crown logo. And just like that, the world realizes this isn't just a collab anymore. This is Nike launching Shedeur Sanders, the brand. Twitter explodes. TikTok floods with reaction clips. Kids are screaming, parents are shaking their heads, and sneakerheads are already refreshing apps for whatever drop just got teased. It's not just hype, it's cultural takeover. And in that 160-second spot, Shedeur becomes immortal. The Jordan torch is passed. LeBron's crown is shared. Serena's dominance is echoed. Nike just told the world that Shedeur Sanders isn't a rookie quarterback. He's the next global icon. Now let's talk fallout. In Cleveland, the pain deepens. Browns fans are watching the Super Bowl from couches, seeing the quarterback they lost by incompetence now headline the commercial break. It's not just salt in the wound. It's an industrial-sized salt truck backing up and dumping onto First Energy Stadium. Sports radio in Cleveland the next morning? Chaos. Callers screaming. How do we always screw this up? Others demanding ownership changes. The fan base isn't just frustrated. They're humiliated. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, Dallas, Atlanta, wherever Shedeur's new team is calling home, the fans are euphoric. Their quarterback isn't just leading drives. He's leading culture. Every touchdown he throws now feels like part of a global empire. Kids don't just want jerseys, they want the lifestyle. And the SS Crown? It's popping up in schools, skate parks, even corporate offices. People are slapping stickers on laptops like it's a badge of rebellion. Nike's rivals? They're in full panic mode. Adidas convenes an emergency future of athlete branding summit in Berlin. Under Armour starts firing off NDAs, desperate to lock down any high school phenom before Nike even notices them. Puma tries to lean harder into music collabs, but everyone can smell the desperation. They're not chasing athletes anymore, they're chasing shadows. And Shedeur? He's chilling, calm, focused. He knows what this is, but he's not overwhelmed by it. Because this has always been the plan. His dad taught him the playbook. Control the narrative, own your image, never let anyone else write your story. Shedeur is simply executing the game plan, one perfect read at a time. The craziest part? He's backing it up on the field. Week after week, he's proving he's not just a logo, not just a cultural phenomenon. He's a quarterback with surgical accuracy, composure under pressure, and leadership that makes veterans follow. It's the rare combination. The talent is real, and the brand is authentic. That's why it's unstoppable. Let's pause for a second to hand out some fake awards, because this saga is practically begging for them. The Halftime Heist award goes to Shedeur Sanders for stealing the Super Bowl spotlight without even playing in it. The Please Make It Stop medal goes to Cleveland Browns fans, who had to sit through the most painful commercial break in franchise history. And the Cultural Architect trophy goes to Deion Sanders for raising a son who turned a logo into a movement and a Super Bowl ad into a coronation. But here's the thing. This story is bigger than Shedeur, bigger than Nike, bigger than the NFL. What we're seeing is the future of athlete branding in real time. The old model, where brands discover athletes, slap a swoosh on them, and market them like products, is dying. Shedeur flipped the script. He built the brand first, then let Nike ride shotgun. And that shift? It's seismic. College athletes in the nil era are already taking notes. They don't need to wait for the draft anymore. They can build logos, identities, entire ecosystems while still on campus. High school athletes are watching too, seeing the roadmap for independence. And you can bet agents across every sport are rewriting their pitch decks. Don't just be a player. Be a brand. Be Shedeur. This is how revolutions happen. Quietly at first, then all at once. The NFL is loving it, of course. Ratings spike every time Shedeur plays. Merch sales are flowing like never before. But beneath the excitement, there's unease. Because when a player becomes bigger than the team, bigger than the league's marketing machine, that's power the league can't control. And the NFL has never been comfortable with losing control. Will they adapt? Or will they try to push back, rein Shedeur in, remind him of team first? Hard to say. But one thing's for sure, the fans won't let them. Because fans don't want humility anymore. They don't want scripted cliches in press conferences. They want authenticity. They want confidence. They want someone who says, "Own your crown," and means it. And that's what Shedeur Sanders gives them. So what's the moral here? Simple. The SS crown wasn't just a merch drop. It was a manifesto, a line in the sand, a statement that the future belongs to athletes who own their story, not the corporations that sign them. Nike was shocked, yes, but also lucky. They got in at the right time. They hitched themselves to a comet that's only getting brighter. The question now isn't, how big will Shedeur get? The question is, how far will he go? Because the throne? He's already sitting on it. The empire? It's already building itself. And the rest of us? We're just watching history unfold in real time. Shedeur Sanders didn't just drop a logo. He dropped the crown. And the world bowed. Picture the Nike headquarters again. Boardrooms filled with anxious executives trying to project next quarter's revenue. But this time, Shedeur isn't walking in as a rookie athlete with his dad at his side. This time, he's walking in as the CEO of culture. The conversation is no longer about shoes or hoodies. It's about the SS Crown brand becoming its own division, its own global identity, its own recruiting pipeline of athletes, creators, and innovators. And Nike? They're still catching their breath, wondering how they let this kid flip the script on them. Because here's the truth, this wasn't a logo drop. This was a coronation. The SS crown didn't just land on shelves, it landed on the throne. And now, everyone else, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, even the NFL, is just trying to keep up. Alright, let's pick this story up right where we left it. Nike scrambling, Shedeur calm, and the SS crown becoming less of a logo and more of a religion. But if the logo drop was the spark, the Super Bowl was the inferno. Because, let's be honest, there's no bigger stage in American culture than the Super Bowl halftime commercial block. And Shedeur Sanders didn't just show up there. He took it over. Picture the scene. Millions tuned in, chips in hand, guac bowls half empty. It's third quarter, momentum swinging, and then the screen fades to black. Everyone in living rooms across America knows what's coming. One of those commercials. And then slowly, we see it, grainy footage of a young Shedeur tossing a football in his backyard. Dion standing off to the side, yelling encouragement. The screen glitches. Cuts to high school highlights. Then college. The voiceover kicks in. They said you had to wait your turn. Boom, cut to Shedeur in Colorado, silencing a packed stadium. They said you had to fit their mold. Cut to Cleveland, playbook slammed, walking out of the facility. They said you weren't ready. Now a clean shot. Shedeur walking into the tunnel of his new NFL home. SS Crown hoodie pulled over his head. The crowd roaring like thunder. And then the screen lights up, massive and clear. Own your crown. The swoop